It's been 4 years of development, rehabilitation and restoration of the lost glory of the once ravished ancient Kanem home. Borno State, under the leadership of Professor Babagana Zulum, has been revamped, redesigned and remodeled to be the envy of the Northeast region. Hello and welcome. This is Borno Restoration. I am Jessic Tafida. Before we track some achievements of Governor Zulum in the past 4 years, let's bring you the latest on Borno today. $611.9 million naira is the fund released by the state government for the payment of 2021-2022 scholarship allowances for Borno State students. This move by the state government is to cushion the impact of the recent hike of registration fees by some federal universities in the country.
His Excellency commitment to the 25 years development plan of Borno State. Education is one part that will receive priority in his administration.
The executive secretary of the board explained that medical and science students will receive 50,000 naira, while polytechnic students will get 15,000 naira each.
We have about 48 universities with 17,535 students. The cost implication for the universities stand at 437,890,000 naira. We have 22 colleges of education with 1,805 students. Their cost implications stand at 35,905,000 naira. We have 17 polytechnics with 3,350 students. The cost implications stand at 54,495,000 naira. And then we have outstanding payment for Unimed Part 2 students. About 5,274 students. The cost implications stand at 83,700,000 naira.
The students appreciate the state governor for the gesture and promised to reciprocate the gesture by studying hard in school.
Because we have never expected at this hardship time of the payment of the scholarship, more especially for the student of the University of Maiduguri, for the increment of the school fees.
His Excellency Babagana Zulum, he did a wonderful job to the student of Borno State, and we say big thanks to him and we really appreciate to him.
Those eligible for the scholarship will start receiving payment next week. The Nigerian army has continued its quest of dealing decisively with Boko Haram insurgents. This has yielded positive results, with relative peace now enjoyed in most parts of the state. The army believes that this success wouldn't have been possible without the support of the citizens. Now the Sector 3 of Operation Hardin K is sustaining its civil-military relation with this competition.
The Quranic recitation is also a spiritual food and a tool for the youth to expand their horizon against hostile actions and other counter-terrorism intents. Hold up this non-kinetic megastroke of action to further endear the populace in our combined efforts to enable our citizens pick up their lives and go about their normal socio-economic activities once again.
We hope, as part of the impact, it will bring the people closer to us and also bring us closer to the people. And that way, we have a better understanding with them, and it's going to facilitate and improve our operations, our counterinsurgency operations.
The competition is believed to go a long way in benefiting the youths and further enhance the coded relationship between the civil and military component. Participants of the competition, who were drawn from Mongunu, Baga, Kroskawa and Gajiram, keenly contested for the star prize, which was won by Muhammad Nur Mustafa, that earned him the sponsorship to Lesser Hajj in Mecca. Another election day where voters are to vote for governors and House of Assembly members of their choice. Streets of Maiduguri are deserted. INEC officials are on ground, waiting for voters to turn out. No one seems to show up at various polling units some minutes to voting time. But at this polling unit, accreditation and voting commenced at exactly 8:30 in the morning, but with low turnout of voters. The case is different here in Mafa Local Council, hometown of Governor Babagena Zulum, as voters come out in their numbers to exercise their franchise.
It's not up to that of the presidential, but however, the turnout is good. It's good for this locality at least. Look at the atmosphere, there's nothing wrong. People are exercising their voting right at least without harassment, without intimidation or anything.
Very good indeed. People are gathered. We didn't see any challenges as of now. And most of people, they are ready. People are even more eager to vote. And all material have been reached to the polling units. And also, we also thank the security agencies for their support they're giving to the people.
Governor Zulum expresses satisfaction with the conduct of the exercise.
I couldn't spend more than 2 minutes for the accreditation exercise. I think INEC has done well, and we have to commend the efforts of the INEC in ensuring a credible election in the state. We must obey with all the INEC's rules and regulations. This area is particularly secured, and as I said last time, my statements are based on what I have seen here, and I believe the entire state will be like this.
Heavy security presence in the state ensured law and order is maintained during the exercise. Residents of Borno State went to the polls last Saturday to elect someone who they believe is capable of steering the affairs of the state for the next 4 years. Out of the 3 candidates who contested the state governorship election, Professor Babagena Zulum won with 545,542 votes. Let's hear the views of people of the state on what this success means to them and what they should expect from the man of the moment.
Even before he becomes professor, we used to call him prof because of his articulation, because he's a goal-getter. He organized himself in such a way that even during the student period, when somebody is organized and then doing things according to the plan, we called him professor. At that time, even his nickname is prof. And similarly, he exhibited the same when he joined the University of Maiduguri as lecturer. And then he has been doing a lot, especially in planning. And then he has interest of the state at heart. Even at that time, he goes around to see whatever he fights for the people, especially for the common people. So, and then for the issue of getting people coming out in mass for the vote because of he's a crowd puller, and then because of what he has done over the 3.5 years in the state, people are eager to come out and vote for him. The low turnout, especially in the first election that was held on 25th, actually scared people, especially those who wanted him to come back. That's why they said, okay, they are going to spend time. We also have to appreciate various stakeholders. They went around, especially the other local government areas, and then because the state government is also planning, we have already taken some reports on the incidences that happened during the first election. So we took measures towards that one, and then we campaigned. There are door-to-door campaign, especially by relevant stakeholders of the party and the government. So that's why people came out in mass to vote during the 18th. As a Honourable Commissioner, he has gone around all the root and crannies of the state, and then he met people in the IDP, he met people in their locality, and then for that he is an humanitarian. When he was elected as a governor, that time he didn't differentiate party. It's not on party basis. His activities are based on humanitarian activities. And then he started his campaign the first day because he goes to the locality, he goes to the people as a grassroots and then talk to them. You will see some of them, sometimes all these old people, he will help them, you know, because of his humanitarian nature. That's why people loved him. That's why people now say this is a time to pay him back. So he started on day one, where he started distributing foods and non-food items, money and everything went around. And then that one goes, actually it helps people, especially those who lost their means of livelihood in the course of this Boko Haram, those who lost their businesses and others. He helped people. Well, actually, I'm happy, especially for the people of state, because he is the first governor who worked on plan. The first time when he was elected, I think he unfolded his 10-pack agenda. After that 10-pack agenda, he went ahead to develop that 10-pack agenda as part of 25-year development plan. So it's the first time when you have a governor who has a plan that he wants to do ABC in social period. So he already has 25-year development plan. So he only did 3.5 years. So if he now spend another 4 years, get another 4 years to continue with the development plan, I think that will go a long way. And then people actually, I'm happy for the people because they have seen what he has been doing for the state, and then they are happy with the plans he is doing, and then things will continue. I'd like to appreciate especially the electorate for having confidence in the government of Professor Babagana Umar Zulum. I would like to also appreciate all the stakeholders, and then also especially I'd like to mention that from my observation, about more than 50% of the electors are women. I'd like to appreciate them, especially our mothers and then daughters and then sisters who came out in mass and then waited to cast their vote. I also appreciate the party stakeholders, and especially the party structure, for all the support or for all what they have doing, and then urge them to continue supporting the party, to continue supporting the government, because without their support, the government will not succeed. And then in the course of governance, there are places where there are loopholes, where probably somebody may be hurt. Whatever happens is just because we want he wants his government to succeed. He wants to do it for the people. So I'd like to also call on people to exercise patience, especially in governance. You have to stay on toes.
Success of the second tenure of His Excellency Professor Babagana Umar Zulum portends a very bright and huge success prospects to the nascent Borno State University. You could see during the first tenure, he did all he could to see that the university, to the Committee of Universities, and because of his efforts and his support, the university has achieved a lot of successes. In fact, I can conveniently and comfortably say that the university could be rated among the first 10 universities in the country. Because even now, the recent accreditation exercise that passed, Borno State University must require 100% accreditation of all its programs. So I think this is not a small achievement, it's a very great feat, and we are always grateful for his support. And he allowed the university to operate as an independent entity, and this is what the university system requires. The university management is fully engaged with all the interventionist agencies across the country, including the TED Fund, the federal government revitalization funds, and all other agencies of the federal government. And His Excellency also, in that respect, tries to talk to all these agencies on behalf of the university, and that has greatly helped the university in trying to, secure some of these projects. That's why if you go around the university, you will see that there are a lot of projects coming on. One of the successes BOSU is achieving is the establishment of the College of Medical Sciences. And in the establishment of this College of Medical Sciences has got tremendous support from His Excellency. Thereby, he said, okay, now we cannot just depend on certain hospitals. So he ventured to build a befitting teaching hospital. And this teaching hospital is almost at its 80 to 85% completion. And we are hoping that from the first quarter of this tenure, second tenure, that teaching hospital will be completed and furnished so that it will not only help the training of medical students, but providing medical services to the citizens of the Borno State. There is no single project that is abandoned. If you have seen a project that is not fully finished, it means ongoing, and it was given, the contract was given late, but in his own capacity to work, he has never allowed any projects to be abandoned. And in the second tenure, I know he will put more emphasis, as he said, the human resource development. You know, he has built a lot of schools. He has built a lot of medical facilities, including the teaching hospital. He has built roads, networks. He has provided water supply to all the wards. Now, the second phase of this development is human resource development. The school needs qualitative or qualified teachers. The hospital needs enough manpower, and even the roads and all the other infrastructures needs manpower to maintain those facilities. So as he said, and I believe he will do it by trying to see that the manpower aspect is fully developed in the second term. That takes us to the civil service. The civil service, now they are in the process of integrating it. If you see, they have introduced even promotion examinations, trying to reposition the civil service. And so, human resource development, I think, will get more attention. Congratulating His Excellency and His Deputy, and all the members that were elected to govern the state, and congratulate them heartily. And I wish them good health and wish them to execute their mandate effectively, so that their tenure will be a memorable one in the history and annals of Borno State. And let me also seize this opportunity to extend that congratulatory message to His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, the Vice President-elect, alongside with his principal, Senator Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for this resounding victory at the polls. I know they will reposition the country. So I wish them success, good health also.
Professor Babagana Zulum is one of a kind. He has actually impacted the lives of so many from the grassroots. In fact, to everybody, you can feel the impact of Babagana Umar Zulum's administration. Professor has not left any part of the government outside. When it comes to the IDP resettlement, Professor Babagana Zulum has done tremendously very, very good. He has, as you can see, Ngala, as you can see, some of the local governments are fully functional. IDPs have returned back to their homes. People are catching their lives normally. The state is returning back to normalcy. So there's no other thing you can think and say about it. So we are really grateful. From 2019, Professor Umar Babagana Zulum, just like I've said, we have seen it. The handwritings are all over the world. We have mega schools that he has built. We have seen roads. We have seen construction of drainages, of highways, he has modernized so many roundabouts in Maiduguri. He has taken everybody along. There is nothing like sentimental bias. We strongly believe Professor Zulum has done everything.
In 2019, when Bana Umar Zulum emerged as the governor, he still appointed me as Honourable Commissioner. With Bana Umar Zulum Prof, we were in a very serious challenges of developing Borno when he was Commissioner of RRR. I could recall he was very bitter in resettling back the IDPs. I could recall when Professor Bana Umar Zulum spent 11 good months in Bama when Bama was no-go area. He completely relocated to Bama. He rebuilt about 11,000 houses in Bama. When he was the commissioner of RRR, he insisted that he has to see the relocation of Bama, or else he put up his resignation as commissioner of RRR. Then the governor was convinced beyond reasonable doubt that he will talk to the military so that Bama will be resettled. I beat my chest to tell anybody that the development and structures that are put in place in Banki now was never visible before the insurgency. And coming back to my own local government, when Bana Umara was the commissioner of RRR, he called me to his office. He said, Honourable Commissioner, as my colleague, we need to resettle Gudumbali. And he 100% financed the movement of all the vehicles and the IDPs and conveyed them back to Gudumbali. We spent the night with him in Gudumbali. So he now coordinated all these resettlements of Mafa, Dikwa, Gamborungala, Kalabalige, Kondega, Dalori, Damasak, Gubio, to some extent Gajiram, Monguno. So he did all what he could to see that all the IDPs in Borno that are residing in Maiduguri are returned back to their localities to fix the pieces of their lives, which I am now happy to inform anybody that cares to know that out of the percentage, probably about 2 million IDPs in Borno, we have almost relocated 80 to 85% of the IDPs back to their ancestral homes, and they have started picking the pieces of their lives. Because with this rainy season, almost all those who we have returned have started their farming activities. The security situation in Borno is very practical to the eyes of anybody, because around 2014 and tail end of 2014, I can say, you cannot even come to the office to sit down and function as a commissioner. But today, I will beat my chest to tell anybody that one of the safest states in Nigeria is Borno. Because the governor has done his best, and he's still doing his best to see that security situation in Borno is improved beyond any human imagination. He has traveled far and near to see that the security situation in Borno improves by visiting Mr. President to tell Mr. President black and white what is on ground. He visited the president of Chad so that they will have collaboration, so that his security men will man the border along Nigeria, Chad. He traveled to Cameroon to talk with the president of Cameroon. He traveled to Niger. So all in a way to improve the security situation of particularly Borno. And alhamdulillah, today as I am talking to you now, the theater commander, the sector commander in Mongono Sector 3, the sector commander 2 in Damaturu, who is in charge of almost all the southern parts of the state, they are working hand in hand with the governor to see that Borno is safe and security improves. The Commissioner of Police and the Director of State Security Service, they give security report on daily basis to the governor. With this, he now empowered this civilian joint task force to make internal security very visible in almost all the 27 local governments by providing them with vehicles, by providing them with allowances. He is paying every member of the civilian JTF 20,000 naira per month. And even Maiduguri Damaturu Road, the governor is very much concerned about this road. He procured vehicles and codenamed Rapid Response Squad, which is headed by one of the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Babalola. 600 of the civilian joint task force members and the police are now on daily patrol of Maiduguri Damaturu Road with 60 Hilux vehicles on this Maiduguri Damaturu Road only. So when you now see the total amount of allowances he paid on the personnel, the cost of the purchase of the vehicles, the cost of maintenance of these vehicles, and the fuels they consume along this on daily basis is something to write home about.